The pre-sentencing proceedings in the theft case of Walter Sisulu University student Sibongile Mani have been postponed to the 29th of March this year. The court found Mani guilty on a charge of theft. She spent more than 800,000 rand from the 14 million rand which was erroneously deposited into her account by Intellimali as a loan from the National Student Financial Aid Scheme back in 2017. SABC News reporter Abongile Jantjies joins us now live for an update. Abongile, thank you so much for joining us. What's the latest?
Well, indeed, Simpiwe, it's been postponed to the 29th of March this year. This as there's an outstanding report from the Department of Correctional Services that needs to be heard or seen by the court, while there is another report from the Department of Social Development comprising of social workers, which also needs to be heard by the court and being scrutinized by both the state and the defense of Sibongile Mani. With me, I do have the National General Secretary of the organization, PASMA, under the PAC. Can you kindly tell us your name, ma'am?
Zandisiwe Nyimbana, National PASMA Secretary General.
What do you make of all of this? You'd recall during the time that Sibongile Mani in 2017, she's a member of your organization, and she's also a student leader in her own right. So what do you make about all of this?
Yes, indeed. In 2017, she was serving as the branch secretary of Sef Mutupeng branch. She is our constituency. She is one of us. We find that Usibongile, her only crime, and she's only guilty for being black and poor. We believe that she should not be the only one being persecuted in these charges, because it cannot be that an administrative mistake of having erroneously depositing 14 million instead of 1,400 rands can only be charged or blamed for one person. Yet on the other end, the service provider Intellimali and the institution, no one is being persecuted or even no one is being investigated. So up until we can see the full audit reports from the institution and Intellimali on what had happened and who was responsible of pressing that button and why it took them so long to discover such a huge amount had been erroneously deposited into a landless, poor, dispossessed African child.
One of the issues that the magistrate raised on the day that she was being the judgment was handed out is that as a student leader, she was supposed to know that it's not within her rights to receive such an amount of money, but she went on to spend it. So her being a student leader also contributed to her being found guilty. What do you say about that?
It is not the first time that student leaders are being persecuted for only advocating for the African children, because like I said, her only crime is being black and being poor. Any naive student, and she was a first year at the time, any naive student who would receive such an amount, it is the responsibility at the other end for the institution to be able to detect that. It cannot be that they only see it after a period of 2 months that they have erroneously deposited money into a specific account. So we believe that that money was intended to go to someone else, and the person who has been in charge for depositing that money should also be brought to book.
You're also fighting that she walks free. You'll fight till the bitter end that she walks free from this matter. How are you planning to do that in your appeal? Do you have the sufficient finances to ensure that she does walk free, as legal services and the money that comes with it is very expensive? So what's your plan with regards to that?
Indeed, the Sibongile Mani case is very complex because we are dispossessed. But however, as the student movement, we are moving for the notion of seeking justice for Sibongile Mani, no matter the cost incurred, because we have been falling victims of the system, of the institutions, of even the justice system. We have a number of student leaders who have fallen into that hole. So we have a committee already that is working on the justice for Sibongile Mani. The committee will seek to raise funds, even if it means that she has to pay back the 820,000 that she had spent. We are willing to support and we will be behind her all the way.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, Simpiwe, that's where we wrap it up here in the East London Regional Court, and we shall be back on the 29th of March this year, Simpiwe.
All right, Abongile, thank you so much for that update. Abongile Jantjies there is outside the East London Regional Court, wherein the proceedings have now been postponed to the 29th of March.